I'm talking to somebody right now. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you right now. And you've made good choices. You've done what you were supposed to do. But now you're taking your special stuff and trying to give your special stuff. You do not have permission, or you do not have God's permission to give the special stuff that was given to you to give to somebody else. They got to go get their own special stuff. They got to do their own work. They got to build their own friendship with God. You can't give your kids your special stuff. You can't give your husband or wife your special stuff. You can't. You better take care of your own. You barely got enough for you. The problem that I have since weak spots, I've been a kid watching men, is that men build with one hand, they break down with the other hand. That's my only problem with you. I don't care what you do, you grow. But I don't like to see you do is put all of this energy and hard work into one thing, and you build that thing up. But then you don't work on your weak spots, and you break down what you build up. I ain't worrying about no enemies or no haters. Can't nobody stop what God has for me. But I can stop what God has for me, all right? So this is why you need a coach. This is why you need people in your life, all right? Because they going to, no matter how awesome you are, you have weak spots. Over 1 million people die every year in accidents because of weak spots. And I'm gonna say that one more time. I don't care how awesome you are. How awesome you think you are. The best car, the Mercedes, the Escalade, the Ford Fusion, no matter what car it is, it has a weak spot. So, the reason why we teach the way we teach is because they're gonna teach you to build up. But they're not gonna say nothing to you about your weak spots. And then your weak spots is going to break down everything you've ever built up. And so most of you, like for real, it don't matter how awesome you are. You got bad habits that you're not dealing with, and they're gonna kill you. So you're gonna kill you. So I wanna walk you through the plan. So first for me, you got God, in that you got great men and women. You got the room and you got you. And you need to use all 4 of them. That's my plan. I've used all 4, right? I see people all the time who do that thing and they like, bro, no, I ain't into that God stuff. I'm like, bro, you don't need to be in the God stuff. But it's 4 in the map. You can't take one out. Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all for real. I'm gonna show y'all. So what's up, man? I was lucky, y'all. I was born in the 70s. I was lucky, bro. Like I wasn't there for King and X and Garvey, but my people talk like my grandma talked about Martin Luther King. Like he was a God. My mom and dad will still tell you where they were when he got shot and killed. I grew up when Martin Luther King was a big deal, when our people was a big deal. Hip-hop singers weren't to no disrespect, but hip-hop singers weren't the people. Drug dealers weren't the people we looked up to. Bad guys weren't the people we looked up
to. Remember Brian, Black History.
It was the real deal for real. And you had to show respect when you said Martin Luther King. My grandma had Jesus and Dr. Martin Luther King on the wall. Yeah, I'm just being real. Jesus wasn't real high, and then it was King down there. I said, no, that ain't no regular man. When I heard that speech, I was like, yo, there's some God in that. That you hear how these people, you got to understand. This was a time when my grandmother, when you would say white people, my grandma would talk slow, or she would get quiet, or she would kind of be scared. This is a time when my people, when you would say, sir, they like, whoa, Martin was. Like he had them like, wow, he had people who were scared. People who just saw people get shot and killed. Like people who were scared. He had people like, let's go. Yep, we can do it. Like risk your lives. I said that ain't no regular man. That ain't regular body. There's something else in it. That's something else that's talking through him, that he got people from all over the world responding. That different I knew from that day. Boy, there ain't no way. Eric, you're going to be able to move the crowd without having, God, I take joy in the Lord, and he will give you the things you want in your heart. I was like, bingo, got it. He didn't say nothing about regular people. He didn't say nothing about men opening the doors. It's For you, first thing it said was, take joy in the Lord. May he give you the things you want in your heart and make all your plans work. I've seen humans do plans that and didn't work. I was like, oops, look like if God doing your plans, they gonna work. I'm just being real with y'all. Like I am my father's child. I come from where my people come from. But when I was about 8 years old, I fell in love with God. When I was about 16 years old and was homeless, I went in. Like you hear people talk about lifting weights, you hear people talk about money. You hear people talk about playing football. Basketball, I've been on God like that. Since I was 16 years old, threes in the morning, boy. I ain't been playing with God. You look at a guy who work out, and they got, like Jeremy said, they got, like if you look at like, you can't see it because it's spiritual. But I got some muscles. Humans don't normally get. I've been doing this thing since I was 16 years old, God all day, God all night. I ain't been playing with this thing. I ain't been playing with it so much, and I ain't perfect. But I'm telling you, I only been close with D.A. I ain't even slept with another person because I didn't want it to mess up. I ain't never drank, I ain't never smoked, I ain't want nothing to mess this up. And I'm as human as you are. Believe that, brothers, don't get it twisted. I got the same once. You got, but when I looked at X, what made me love Malcolm was when Malcolm got serious about the game. Malcolm didn't play with his game. Nobody had no bad stuff on Malcolm. Malcolm changed. He changed. And I made up in my mind when I got started in this trip, I'm going all the way because I can't trust myself. And I don't want to build something up great and have it broken. Down when I build this up, I want the bottom to be strong. Because if I got to count on me as coming down, because I know who my father is and my grandfather, I know, so I'm building heavy. Many of you are building up, but you're not building down. You don't have a strong bottom. You ain't strong enough for the success that you're about to get. You're not strong enough for all the power and influence you about to get. I started this thing, my recipe was, God, we going, God first, nothing else. We gonna build, we gonna. Ain't gotta dribble. I ain't gotta dribble, I ain't gotta play. We just going every day. We just going every day. We just going 3 in the morning. And while the world may not see how important 3, they gonna feel how important the must have noticed you guys. 3, what's your bottom? What you building on? I'm not telling you God, but whatever it is, it better be strong because you're gonna be successful. You're gonna have some, you know what kills me about? Cats. Cats are eat. I can't believe I'm like, bro, kill it. You had chances. You didn't take care. And don't act like God ain't never gave you no chance. You've been given chances, you messed them up. Don't make this about her. Don't make this about him. Don't make this about racism. Don't make this about. Don't make this about your daddy, your mama. You've been given chances. You weren't strong enough. You weren't ready for them. You messed it up, giving 120%. When you go to work go to work habits week, I need you to do yourself a favor. I need you to put all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul into it. That's right attitude is everything. You know, I often tell students in school that it's not about how smart you are. It's about your attitude. That's right. It's not about how smart you are. It's about your attitude. And I'm telling you, the one thing I love about my daughter, you know, just recently on her report card, she had a B in math. And I'm talking about she was crying. Why? Because when she goes to school, she does not go to a private school just because she has to go to private school. She gives it 120%. So remember, my first rule is when you go to work. This week, go to work. And again, when I was talking about location, we're not talking about a place. We're talking about giving 120%. When you go to work this Monday, I don't care what your job is, how many hours you work. If you work 5 days a week, 40 hours. If you do 41 12s, I don't care if you're a temp, right? You're not, you know, you don't really have a job yet. You're just working through a temp agency. Listen to me. When you go to work, this week 120%, give it all you got. Because often in life, you will never get to the next level. Listen to me. You will never get to the next level just because you're talented. A lot of it has to do with attitude. So I don't care if you don't like your boss. I don't care if you don't like your job. When you go to work this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, give it 120%. Bible teaches us that find a man who is hard working at his work, and he shall stand before kings and queens, and not regular men. So I'm telling you, if you don't like where you are, listen to me. If you don't like where you are, if you don't like the job you work for, I promise you, you won't get to the next level, right? You won't get that promotion. You won't get moved. You can't move. You can't start your own business. You won't get a money increase until you learn to be
good over the little things.
And once you go to work and you put in work, no matter what the situation is, whether your boss is at work, they're not at work. If you learn to put in 120%, I promise. One day you'll wake up 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years. I don't know, and you'll make exactly what you want to make. You'll have the job you want to have. You'll have a position that you want. You'll have everything in life that you want if you can learn not only to go to work, but I'm talking about go to work. And again, you heard me. I'm not talking about where you go. I'm talking about all your soul, all your heart, and all your might. I remember when I was younger, my father used to play a song by the OJs, and the song said that your body is here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. And so when you go to work this week, don't go just with your body, but go with all your energy, all your strength, and all your spirit. And I promise you, one day you will be exactly where you want to be. All right. Number 2, my final rule for you. This Monday, number 2 is, I want you to use your job as a practice place. Yeah, you heard what I said. Use your job as a practice place. In the words of Allen Iverson, you talking about practice. Practice art. We're talking about practice. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Because what I want you to know is where you're going to be in the future has a lot to do with what you do every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, and every Friday. I got a quick story for you. Went to a school called Oakwood University in Huntsville, Alabama. That's right. Oakwood University, Huntsville.
Alabama, and into cafeteria as we
We're going in the caf. They had a big painting. Right. And on the big painting was strange. The picture was actually broken up, into two. On one side was the present, and on the other side was the future. And if you look closely at the picture, what you saw there was this picture of African people who were slaves, and they were working the cotton fields. But it was weird because as they were working on the cotton fields of Alabama, you could see on the other side, they had this dream of what the future would be. And so on one side, you have African people who were slaves. And on the other side, you have doctors, astronauts, engineers, teachers, right? And on the words that said what you are to be, you are now becoming what you are to be. You are now becoming. And so I encourage you, I challenge you to realize and to recognize that your job is just a practice place. If you're going to be a boss one day, a supervisor one day, if you're going to do it big one day, you have to be good over few, and then you'll be ruler over many. So when you go to work, everything you do, if you're good over the small things, one day you'll be responsible for the big things. All right. So let me paint the picture for you so I can make sure this rule is clear. So last week you saw me at UMass was speaking, and I want you to know that although I was at UMass last Monday, right, doing it, big hotel travel, money-wise, everything was love. You saw the church right stuff, the whole 9. Watch this, what I want you to know. If you're out there watching this, is that what you saw at UMass started over 20 years ago. That's right. What you saw at UMass started 20 years ago. I'll never forget I had an opportunity to do what they call in college service learning. And so I went out into one of the poor areas, and I started a GED program. And what I didn't realize was Every single day when I did that GED program, I started the first 15 minutes with the motivational moment. That's right. You thought that the motivationally moment started 2010, but actually in 19. When I was a junior in college, I started a GED program, and every single day before we started class, I would read them a motivational minute, and I would talk about it now. This is what's crazy. I don't care if 2 students showed up, 10 students showed up, or 15 students showed up. I talked to those students like it was 150 people in the room. So what you saw at UMass started over 20 years ago. And guess what? 20 years later, that's right? 20 years later, E.T., the motivator is traveling all over the country, motivating people because I was good in few things. And so I encourage you, your job is your practice place. God didn't wait for your worthy daddy to make you important before he made you important. God didn't wait on your mama before he made. He said before your mama knew you were in her belly, called you. You were important before your mama even knew you were in the belly. I didn't wait for some doctor to tell her, Joy, you or she were pregnant before I made you. Your problem is you don't know that you're important. Say it while we wait. I am important. I need to act like it's not that some man think I'm important and he's gonna call me his wife. And until I'm a wife, I'm not important. No, you're important before you become a wife. And you don't need to marry nobody to be important. Oh, I talk to somebody. Can I talk to somebody? Anybody, you still thinking you ain't worthy. Because ain't no man said you worthy. God said you was worthy. God said you was worthy. You can't get no more worthy than that. You still didn't get that job and you didn't get that title, you was worthy before you got that title. You know what happened when I realized that I was God's important person? You know, I started going to companies and they would charge. They say, we're gonna give you this much money. I would say, let me see your values. And I'd say, you know what, I can't do it. They say, well, we paying you what you're worth, why you can't do it? I said, my special gift is it's a valuable. I can't give you this special gift. I'm sorry, but I just know God wouldn't be happy if I got in line with your company. There's nothing about your company and me. And I'm sorry knowing that whatever money I said no to God, able to do way, way beyond. God is able to do way, way beyond anything I could think of. I don't need your money according to the word because I am important. I am a lender and not a borrower. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. You can't do nothing if you can't do nothing for me anyway. Your problem is for real. You say it, but you don't know that you're a royal priesthood in the chosen generation, Natar. Thank you. We got off the plane yesterday. Royal. We got off the plane, sister girl. So many of y'all in here that blessed me. We got off the plane that they said they was coming. Delta coming. I thought we was just going to walk all the way, and then we're going to get in the little cart, and it was going to race through. We get off the plane. They like, exit left. I'm like, exit left. I'm like, exit left. That's where the bags are. Come on. I know you new to your royalty, but come on this way. I want to go to where everybody else is going. Then she said, no, you are important. Today, oh, you mess what I just said? You come this way. I don't know better. I'm going down, I see the Porsche waiting for us right by the plane. I grab my bags because, you know, I don't know that will take your bag. I'm like, I can take my sit up. She said, sit down, sat down somewhere. We know you can carry for them, but you're important today. Oh, if you ain't used to being important, you like me, you never, you don't. But I want you to get into your importance 2023. I want you to whatever your other goals are, bring those down on your whiteboard and put important at the top of the whiteboard. Okay, just bring all them down. Okay, fine, or put a piece of paper up on top of and put important. Put God. You will be my important. This year, and nobody will come before you. I will be important this year. Here's what I want you to ask yourself. When are you going to finally level up? No, come on. Write that down. When you going to level up, when you're going to level up, huh? God told me to say to you, day, when you gonna level up. Listen to me, I told you, you're not an animal. You're not the trees, you're not bugs. You was made on the sixth day. Even in your creation, you was important. Ain't nobody. All the other ones he just said, let there be, and let there be, and let there be, and let there be, and let there be. When he made you be. You gotta grind in the dark because that's when champions are made. I'm talking about 4 a.m. warnings. I'm talking about saying the no to the party, the game, the fun, because your future depends. Said, come on, y'all listen. Sorry, I didn't hear no us with whales. I just heard let there be. And it was I.
And didn't hear no us with eagles?
Just let there be. And eagles are awesome and whales are awesome. But when he made us, he said, come on, everybody. It's gonna take all three of us to do this.
Applause.
Oh, you just missed what I said. That's your freedom from being, that was your freedom to set. Because you still on, he took for me. That was your freedom, right? That he knew everything that was gonna happen, and even though you looking at it bad, he knew it was going to be. You still on what happened to you. It's not, it's over. I made this mistake. No, let us make your problem. Is you every day you sitting there talking about who you are based on your mistake. And you not talking about you based on the three coming together and creating you. That's where your focus needs to be, that you
Let us make man in our image.
after our likeness, you are important